Hello everyone, my name is Sukhraj. This is the 8th video of AWS Learning. In this video, we will discuss about Amazon SQS. Amazon SQS stands for Simple Queue Service. This is the web service that gives us the access to message queue that can be used to store message while waiting for a computer to process them. AWS SQS is a full service. Using the Amazon SQS, we can separate the component of an application so that they can run independently. In this video, we will see the example how Amazon SQS help us to separate the component of an application that they are running independently on each other. SQS queue has two types. One is the standard queue, another is the FIFO queue. So standard queue offers a standard queue as a default queue type. This is the default one in the AWS. It allows us to have unlimited number of transactions per second. It guarantees that message is delivered at least once. However, sometimes more than one copy of message might be delivered out of order. Like in case of the standard queue, we receive the 5 message. In that case, might be they are missing their order. We might receive like in this example here, in the image here, we are getting the first message, then second message. After that, directly we are getting the 5th message there, and message number 3rd is duplicated here. So actually it's very rare in case of standard queue, but still this exists in the standard queue. On the other hand, FIFO queue makes sure that the order will be maintained here, right? First, second, third, fourth, fifth message, so they will be processed in the order. So we can say that it guarantee the order in which they are sent is also received in the same order. The most important feature of queue are FIFO queue and exactly once processing. It process one message at a time, right? So I mean it means like it will not process the one message 2 times. FIFO queue does not allow duplicate. It also support message group that allow multiple order message group within a single queue. FIFO queue are limited to 300 transactions per second. What have all the capabilities of standard queue? So we will see in coming examples there in the video, like what is standard queue and what is FIFO queue, in actual how they are differ. There is one property which is related to the queues, that is the SQS visibility timeout. Visibility timeout is the amount of time that the message is invisible in the SQS queue after any service or a reader pick up that message. It means like here in the example, if message number 1 is picked up by any service, in that case it will be invisible inside the queue till the message is not processed by that particular service. If that time pass out and that service is failed to process this message due to any reason, in that case after the passing of the visibility timeout, this message will again visible in the queue. So here is a simple example, like we are uploading the videos to any application. We can have one example here, like YouTube. We are uploading the videos to YouTube in any format, MP4, 3G, WMB or AVI, and YouTube processing the videos and converting all the videos to in a particular format. So here on the left side, different format videos are uploaded by the user to any application, or I can say that YouTube. Then these different format videos are stored in the AWS S3 bucket 1 with the name video 1, video 2, video 3 and so on. And here SQS play important role. So once the video is uploaded successfully in the bucket, that bucket video path is as a message is entered or pushed to the queue. So there are 5 videos uploaded. So for each video, 5 messages are pushed to the queue: message 1, message 2, message 3, message 4, message 5. So in that case these will be processed one by one. Now we have the servers here, server 1, server 2, server 3. These are the applications. These applications look for the message inside the queue. Once there is a message inside the queue, these services pick that message and I mean that message the path. So these services pick that path, and from that path, which is the bucket path, download the video and again process that video to convert it to one particular format, and again it upload to the another bucket in a particular format. So we can say that in the AWS S3 bucket 1 all the videos have different format, but in the AWS S3 bucket 2 all the videos have the same format. So how SQS is helpful here: once the video is uploaded to the bucket 1, that bucket path, or I mean video path, so not the bucket path, video path will be pushed to the SQS queue as a message, and any server will pick that particular message. Now what is visibility time? Suppose server 1 pick the message number 1. Now server 2 and server 3 will not pick the message number 1 because it will not be visible to these two services. Why? Because once the any message is picked by any server, at that time it will not be visible to any other service till the visibility time is not passed out. Generally visibility time out is 30 seconds by default, but we can set it according to our requirement. Once the message is processed by server 1 in that visibility timeout, I mean before that visibility timeout, then this message will get deleted from the queue, so it will look for another message. Now suppose server 2 server 3 already processing the message 2 and message 3. In that case server 1 will pick the message number 4, and it will start to convert the video number 4 and will upload to the new bucket, that is the bucket 2 of so we will see now at the console how we can push the message to the SQS and how we can read the message from there. Might be here people have the doubt like how these are useful in our daily life, or in they want some another example with the coding. In the next video I will create one demo using SQS SDK with the .NET Core. Let's move to the Amazon console. From the services here, just look for SQS in the search and select simple queue service. Now click on queue. Here we can create any queue. Just click on the create queue, provide the queue name, I just provided YouTube S3 queue, and see here visibility timeout, it will be 30 seconds, so I'm not changing anything. Message retention period means like suppose there is a one message from the queue is picked by any service and try to process it, but it due to some error it is not processed. In that case it will try 4 times, and oh, actually this is not the dead queue, this is the message retention. Message retention period is like 4 days. If message is there in the queue for 4 days and it is due to any reason it is not picked by any service, in that case this message will get deleted automatically after the 4 days. So I'm not changing anything here, I'm just clicking on the create queue. And oh, I think I provided space somewhere. Where its name? Yes, let's move the space here. And yes, so this is the URL. Using this URL, this is very important. We will use this URL in our code. Using this URL we can directly identify, okay, this is the queue which I want to hit. To push any message inside the queue, just click send and see message here. Just write the message here. Delivery delay is like it will not visible inside the queue immediately. If I will say after 15 seconds, then it will visible inside the queue after 15 seconds. I will just keep it as 0 second and will say send message. Now this message is delivered to the queue. Now if I will check inside the queue, see message available is 1. I will click on the queue. I'm inside the send and receive message and just click on the poll messages. Now it is pulling the messages here, right, from the queue. It's showing there is one message. So this is the message detail. This is the test message attribute. If I want to send some additional detail with the message, like who is the owner of this message, or on which date it is published. Like in case of the videos, I can send like this is the video uploaded by which user ID and what is the format of video. So I can send additional information inside the attributes. I will cover everything in detail about these things inside next video, where I will use the .NET Core with the AWS SQS SDK. So these are the way like how we can create the queue. Just on the queue, click on the create queue, then create the queue. From the queue, then send and receive message. To send the message, write the message inside this message box and click on the send inside the message body and click on the send message, right? And to receive the message, just click on the poll for messages and or click here. It will start to pull the message. See, I read that message, now it's showing here 0, right? Because once we read the message, otherwise message is there, right? And these services in the case where we are using this type of services, mostly we are creating the queue from the UI. What we are using is URL in our code, and we are pushing the message inside the queue using the code or any scheduled jobs, and then we are getting so this is the main structure where SQS is work. There might be a lot of different things here, like not just S3 pass will pass here. So like we can pass any particular message inside the queue, and those messages will be read by another services running on the different server, right? And after the service will read one message, that particular message will get deleted. It will not be visible, or it will not be available for another service to pick again. In case of the FIFO, what this might happen, like duplicacy can happen inside the standard queue. So in next video we will cover everything using the .NET Core. Thank you everyone. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you.